Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is August 9th, 2025, and this is my weekly market review. We're reviewing the S&P 500, that's SPY, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor, please check with your significant other, and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, let's jump over to these charts and see what we see. The SPY didn't do quite as well as the Nasdaq, as my QQQ. I call it my QQQ. That's what I like trading, is the Qs and all. But I'm trying to learn, look at the SPY a little bit more, and trying different strategies over there and see if I can find something there that's worthwhile. But let's go ahead and look at this SPY and look at this quarterly chart. This quarterly chart, we can see we're still underneath the yearly R1. When I say yearly R1, I'm looking at this green line right here, and we're still underneath that. We haven't crossed that like we have on the Nasdaq. I do still see us with a higher high and all, and we closed near the high on this candle here. So that's what we see here. Let's go ahead and go down to the monthly chart and see what we see there. On this monthly chart, zoom in here. The main thing here is that we are still above the 9-10 moving average. We didn't make a lower low with this market the way it was looking last week, like it wanted to try to go down and stuff. So we're still looking quite bullish. We got a long ways to go before we get to this R1 way up here and all. For the quarterly pivots, these are quarterly pivots here and all. It didn't change. Let's just see, these are quarterly pivots. So we still got a long ways to go here. Still looking very bullish though. Let's go ahead and go down. Oh, I did that wrong. Let's go ahead and go down to this weekly chart. I just maximize it here and all, and then zoom in here, delete, zoom in here, boom. On this weekly chart, this is looking really kind of funny here to me. Last week we were looking at just these two candles right here. We was looking at a bearish engulfing. Was kind of expecting to see if we was going to get that confirmation candle coming down, but that trump card was played, and this market looks like it's ready to go back up. And all, that's all I'll say. And all, so right now, with this right here, this would be a bullish harami, these two candles right here, but it's really not ideal in the ideal place. You like seeing these at a bottom, and all this is at a top. But we kind of can see now with these are monthly pivots also. With this month now, we have gotten back. Before I was saying, oh, we're below, blah, 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 blah. We're below the pivot. We're going to be opening below the pivot. We did open below the pivot. We could go down lower and all that. But we did open below the pivot, but this market screamed back to the upside and all. And now we're above pivot. So above pivot, stay above pivot. That's one of my rules. That's one of my expectations. Above pivot, stay above pivot and all. And let's see if that's going to actually happen here. So again, right now, I'm going to be looking for this thing to continue going higher. Next week, I'm kind of expecting us to make an all-time high and all. The thing is, we didn't break, like on the Nasdaq, we broke previous week high. On the SPY, we didn't break previous week high, this high up here. So come next week, I do kind of expect us to break that and see if we go higher. We just got to kind of wait and see what happens there. But let's go ahead and go down to this daily chart and wrap this on up. On this daily chart, what we see here, the thing is now, the question is, with the SPY, is this supply up here, it's pretty strong, and is it going to keep this market down? That's the question. The SPY, the way, look at how the SPY traded. Last, let me do something here. Let me do this. Remember last week, I almost said this thing. You heard me almost say this thing was done, because again, I saw we were at this demand level here, and this market ended up gapping up here on Monday. But look how it traded all week long. Let me delete that. We had a green candle Monday. This thing zoom starting back up. Then we had a red candle on Tuesday. Then you see the green, red, green. Alternate days. This market, they're trading this thing, in my opinion, to push this thing even higher. They're covering. Some big money is pushing this thing on up. It's not like before, yeah, this was kind of like before this gap that we got and all this big gap here and all, that's like a pro gap. Usually when the market is going in one direction like this and then it gaps down in the opposite direction, that's a pro gap. That was some huge money coming out of the market, and now that money is, maybe that money is loading back up to push this thing on up higher. And that's why we see the trading that we are seeing right now. Again, it's something definitely different. It's a different world right now and all. It's kind of like, well, when you're playing spade players out there, and all. When you play with, the diamonds, with the diamond and with the deuce of diamond and the deuce of spade, I guess, whatever it is, I forget. When you have those two in there and you take when you play with those two and you play with the jokers, it makes the game a little bit different, and that's what we're playing with here in this market right now. We're playing with a couple different things that are actually going on out here, and this game is a little bit different than what we are used to seeing. But those of us who just watch this thing from day to day and we play by the technicals and based on what we see, again, it's a fun game. It's still a fun game, and it's just like when you're playing cards. It's still a fun game, but it's a little different, and then that's all I really want to share. It's some interesting trading. I hope you guys are having a great week and a great weekend, and I'll speak to you next week. Have a good one. Right Side Trader here. Talk to you later. Bye.